All right, y'all. I already told y'all what I was going to do today. I told y'all I was getting my butt up and getting out, and I was definitely going to go vote. I secured my vote. I hope y'all secured y'all. As y'all know, this is the last week to vote, well, early voting in Georgia. So get out and go vote. You ain't doing nothing. Now, let's get right into it. This is my boy Benny Johnson again, and it says Trump and Rogan on aliens, JFK assassination, ear scars, deep state, White House, Kamala. All right, well, with that topic being said, y'all, let's go ahead and dive right into this video.
What's up, guys? Your boy Benny. This is the moment we have been waiting years for. The Joe Rogan and Donald Trump podcast has officially dropped, and it is a 3-hour freewheeling banger. It is everything that we could have possibly hoped for and more. Joe Rogan delivers. Donald Trump delivers in peak form. And quite frankly, it's hard to really know where to begin. Because this sucker just goes everywhere. You can't get bigger and better than Joe Rogan and Donald Trump in the same room. So let's rock and roll.
That's huge.
This episode, which we just got finished listening to, it is late into the evening, 3-hour episode. Man, they freaking let her rip here. This thing it just crossed the 1 million view threshold. It took 2 hours to cross the 1 million view threshold. This is what's publicly available on YouTube. It's probably far more than this in the back end for Joe Rogan. But it started off on TikTok, actually. The first time we saw the two of these men together were on TikTok. Check this out.
World.
Hello, world.
We just wrapped up a great podcast.
We had a good time. I think you'll find it very interesting and enjoy it.
Very zen, very rad. Here we go. It started with Donald Trump saying he's not sure why the media is so obsessed with him. And Joe Rogan interrupts and says, well, I think I know.
I always got more publicity than other people. And it wasn't like I was trying. In fact, I don't know exactly why. Maybe you can tell me why.
Oh, I could definitely tell you. You said a lot of wild shit.
Maybe. Maybe
You said a lot of wild shit, and then CNN, in all their brilliance, by highlighting your wild shit, made you much more popular.
Yeah.
And they boosted you in the polls because people were tired of someone talking in this bullshit, pre-prepared politician lingo.
Perfect. Yes. People are loving Donald Trump because he is authentic. Joe Rogan, who, of course, has cut his teeth as a comedian. That's how he began his career. Talking about Donald Trump's incredible sense of comedic timing.
Instincts. Like when you said to Hillary, you'd be in jail. Like that's great timing. But it's like that kind of stuff was unheard of as a politician. Like no one had done that. And I think
it's funny. You need at least the attitude of a comedian when you're doing this business. This is a very dangerous business, first of all. It's a very tough business. Being president is the most dangerous.
Especially you. I mean, you haven't even got to the election. There's been 2 assassination attempts. If there was a tax on, if Biden got shot in the ear, we would have never heard the end of it.
But I think he's in good.
Right. And that was crazy. Like I sat there and when I watched it, I said, did I just witness what just happened? Did I just see what happened? And then the crazy part is all the talk was, oh, it was set up, it was this, it was that. And I'm just over here like, yo, this is wild. And then as soon as that happened and stuff, they went to, once again, just trying to sweep it up underneath the rug, you know what I'm saying? And not really airing it or showing it. And then boom, here comes the second one as he's, playing golf. I'm like, this is crazy. Like, this is wild. We're going to watch this and then we're going to get back into it. We're going to chop it up towards the end.
Good shape because it's only consequential presidents.
Ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump going in saying it's consequential presidents who they really need to go after. This is presidents who fight against the machine and who stand against the machine. Donald Trump stood up and let Rogan see the scar on his ear. Speaking of assassination attempts,
he was a nice
once
guy. They shot you, I was like, he's got to come in here. It's all about timing. It's all about the timing.
Timing's
I think
good.
timing's perfect. Do you even have a scar on your ear? You got anything on there?
I do.
Let me say. What do you got there?
So right over here.
Oh, it's a tiny little
See,
mark.
it zicked right there.
Yeah. It healed up pretty fucking good.
Well, it's pretty good. Yeah, it's little. It's not like some of the wrestlers, some of the UFC fighters.
No, you didn't
It's
get
a little bit.
cauliflower hair.
No. It was sort of like a top shot.
Mm-hmm.
The point of the bullet was a little of the ass, but you see the thing's taken off a little bit. But it makes me a tougher guy. You know, the fighters.
Makes me a tougher guy. Joe Rogan, of course.
In the words of my boy Tom McDonald, be you missed.
Knows what it looks like to have somebody, well, get beat up pretty good and then come back and win. Joe Rogan asking about, why is all of this happening to you? Why do they hate you so much? Why is the machine turned against you? Because the machine used to love you. Now they're calling you Hitler. Trump's response, perfect.
President, if you look at
The amount of assassination attempts.
and
Yeah.
attempts too,
Yeah.
and attempts. No, it's a very dangerous position. I never thought of that, by the way, when I did it. You don't tend to.
Did you just assume because
don't
people
think
loved you on The Apprentice, they were going to love you as a
Well,
president?
I figured it would be so easy. It's
Well,
very
it probably
interesting.
would have been if the media didn't attack you the way they did. If they didn't conflate you with Hitler. I mean, even today, like Kamala was talking about you and Hitler. They're going to take what you said about Robert E. Lee. Oh, Donald Trump
he
wishes the
loves
South
Robert E.
won.
Lee. That's
Yeah.
right. He loves Robert E.
They
Lee.
love to take things out of context and distort things.
Well, they don't even have to take them out. They make them up entirely. Okay,
They do
make
that
'em-
too.
But
Yeah. Speaking of being made up entirely, Donald Trump, let me tell you what, stepping on a landmine here in all the best ways, calling the polls fake.
you know how polls are done. I'm going to get myself
Please.
in trouble. But so I really don't believe too much in them. So
Well, 2016 taught a lot of people about the ineffective.
well, they were very
use of polls.
ineffective because
Yeah.
I thought I was doing well. I'd go to a place and I'd have 30, 40,000 people. Hillary would go, they have 500 people, and they tell me I'm going to lose. I said, why am I going to lose? I had 40,000 people. She had 200 people. But, I have a theory. These pollsters, they charge you a lot of money, too. They charge you $500,000 to do some stupid poll, and they interview like 251 people. I don't think they interview them in many cases. I don't want to get myself in too much
You
trouble.
think it's
'cause-
bullshit?
No, I think they sit there, they make a deal, they get $500,000, and they say, Trump's leading 51-49. They announce it, and everybody says, oh.
Donald Trump saying that Kamala's polls are fake, that his polls are real, and that he's winning by even more, even though Donald Trump is winning right now against Kamala. What does Donald Trump say about Kamala?
Can you imagine Kamala doing this show?
I could imagine her doing this show.
She'd be laying on the floor.
She was supposed to do it, and she might
She
still do
wasn't
it,
gonna
and
do
I
it.
hope she does.
She's not gonna
I
do
will
it.
talk to her like a human being. I would
If
try
she
to have a
did this
conversation
kind of an
with her.
interview with you, I hope she does, because it would be a mess. She'd be laying on the floor comatose. You'd be saying, call in the medics.
I think we'd have a fine conversation.
Speaking of other presidents, other people who worked in administration who are no longer with us, the JFK files. What does Trump have to say about them? Well.
Things that I wanted to talk to you about is the JFK files. And one of the things that you said was that if they showed you what they showed me, this was your quote, you wouldn't want people to know it either.
I opened them up partially. They called me. They said, sir, would rather have you not. And I did open them. But I was asked by some people not to open them. There's a Martin Luther King file, too, by the way, that they'd like to see. I don't know if you know, but there is that. But
And I'm not even gonna lie, I remember one of my subscribers, they actually sent me what Trump is talking about, the letter, when he says that in there. And something they pulled up and they gave to me, and I just couldn't believe it. So this is wow. This is really wow.
JFK in particular. So they called me, a lot of good people called me, people that that you would find reasonable people. And they asked me not to do it. So I said, well, we'll close it for another time. But if I win, I'm going to open them up. I'm just going to open enough time.
Why didn't you open it up the first time?
Because
though?
a lot of
what
times,
was the hesitation, though?
Addresses, people that are still living. There are people that are affected.
Hard to argue with that. There are
Right.
people that are still affected. Donald Trump saying that he's going to go full punk rock this next administration, full rebel. And this, I think, is just a beautiful, beautiful distillation by Joe Rogan of what's actually going on here. Joe Rogan saying that the Republican Party is actually the party of the rebels now.
Down 30 with young people. I'm plus 30. And I'm on TikTok.
I think
it's had a huge impact.
Young people are rejecting a lot of this woke bullshit.
Yeah,
Young people are tired of being yelled at and scolded. They're tired of these people that they think are mentally ill telling them what the moral standards of society should be today. And people are upset.
There's a big difference now, but even in just a couple of years, I was shaking hands with people. They're young people.
The rebels are Republicans now. They're like, you want to be a rebel, you want to be punk rock, you want to buck the system. You're a conservative now. That's how crazy.
Kamala Harris also in Texas on the exact same night. Very interesting how nobody was watching, even though there was Beyonce and a 91-year-old Willie Nelson on stage. It was super creepy. Donald Trump absolutely getting the best of this one. Kamala Harris instead having to yell down protesters at her rally that got out of hand, looking just terrible here.
Definitely booing. How embarrassing.
So it's perfect contrast, right?
That's wild.
Perfect contrast. We checked on MSNBC and they were covering the Kamala Harris rally, and you'd be surprised to learn that there was a grand total of 1,000 people that have watched the rally. Meanwhile, at time of recording, there are over 1 million people, at least, probably twice this actually, that have seen the Joe Rogan and Donald Trump interview.
Numbers don't lie.
So, you know what? Everything's a poll, right? That's a poll. Donald Trump showing exactly why he has the wit, the intelligence, the stamina, the strength, and the sharpness to be president again. And I think that this podcast, Donald Trump was already winning. I think Donald Trump's going to win in a landslide on election night after this podcast. Go watch the full thing, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm definitely going
some of the best 3 hours of our lives. Truly. So an exciting moment, in the landscape of media, culture, and politics that I'll never forget. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe. See ya.
Do that. Benny Johnson. Okay, y'all. So that was Benny Johnson. I'm not gonna lie. I definitely have to check that Rogan's podcast out to actually watch that with Trump, because I did see it, but this is my first time like taking bits and pieces from Benny. So I'm definitely gonna tune in and watch that, check it out, and then I'll give y'all my thoughts on that. But again, y'all know it's that time of the year again, and it is very, very important. I secured my vote. You might want to go secure yours. If you don't go up in that comment section if you ain't voted yet, okay? Because that needs to be done. Then we can talk. But overall, I must say that I'm definitely going to have to go and, like I said, watch this for myself so that I can get the feel of it. I did hear about, him going on the show, and Trump, he's just been making his rounds lately. McDonald's, all these places. Because we are how many days away? We ain't got long, y'all. November 5th will be here before you know it. And I think it's just pretty cool that he's going to places that's like really down to earth, and that just goes to show you what type of person Trump really is. You know what I'm saying? He's willing to go, while they were taking him out because he was in McDonald's, but like, come on. What better way to know how the world is suffering if you're not actually going into these places and being able to experience what people are actually going through and why we actually want a change for this world. So I'm going to end it like this. Go secure your vote. Again, this is the last week for early voting here in Georgia. So get up, get out, and go make a change.